Okay, it's 10:07. Welcome everyone. Do you guys hear me okay? Good. Yeah. So I muted everyone for now. Sorry for starting a little bit late because I love the song. You Raise Me Up. It's remind me of my mom whenever I listen to the song, and brings a lot of good memories. So anyway, thank you everyone for attending this Open Mic Sunday, presenting by Ho Nguyen Vic, a Facebook group for the a very talented Vietnamese community. And through this group, I get to know a lot of talents like the speaker today, Jem and Duc. Thank you so much for being here with us and be the very first pioneer speakers. I have Adam, will join us as a panelist, and then Pham, will be the professional sound recording. So as I send out the note, we will record the sessions during Zoom, so that anybody that not having the opportunity to join will have the opportunity to look at the video on what the event's about and the speaker, and have the feel of how it is. And thank you, the attendants that take your time on a Sunday and be with us today. And with further ado, before we start this event, I have a little bit of the survey that you guys can participate and let me know in the chat, because the event today, the goal is to build everyone in the community the confidence in public speaking. So I would like and curious to know, how's everyone feel about public speaking? So let me present you guys the survey. So you can just use your phone and scan the code and let me know in 3 single words, how do you feel about public speaking? Because public speaking is is an experience that everybody's, I think, have a mutual feeling, myself included, nerve-wracking. So I would be curious on how the audience think about public speaking. Yep, scary.
Yeah, I'm old. I don't know how to scan stuff on my phone, so public speaking, it's all right. It's pretty cool. I have no issue with it.
You can even type slido.com and then you input the code.
For participants, we have 16 included myself, so that should be 15 people join. See if it's working. It does. So we have 4 participants, 5 now. Is anybody getting into the poll okay? Just another minute if everybody's behind. I can relate it to all of the experience, you know, myself included, super nervous, exciting and fun at the same time as well, from my perspective, because most of the time, public speaking can be very intimidating, especially you're in front of the live audience and all of these thoughts in your heads, and you keep thinking about what's going on, what they think about what I just said, and you know, it's all about the thinking in our head that make us so nervous, but I think it's also make us human as well. So we have 8. So I think the biggest challenge would be nervous, and I will leave the poll for everyone, and I will save this the slide for later. When we finish the event, I can post into the Facebook groups, and everybody can see, you know, the end result. But let's continue to our open mic meeting today. And before we go on, let me tell you a little bit about the concept of open mic if you're not familiar with the concept. So back in the day, comedians and artists and singers usually go to bar and pub and a comedy club. And what they would do, they would go on stage on a night that not busy and try to perform in front of an audience. And of course, these artists and performer are the amateur people, and they try to see if either the comedy that they have or even the song or anything that they want to perform would interact well with how do I say it, will draw the audience interest. So I think presenters are like artists and performer, and by giving speech and presentation, we're creating the connections with our audience and be able to deliver the message with our presentations. So with the open mic from Hội Nghị Việt, I hope that everybody in the group would have a chance to talk and say and present and be able to feel confident when we presenting this sort of thing. And I think even if you go to, let's say, finding a job and go interview in front of managers and hiring manager, I think myself, when I go to an interview for a job, my first job, it was nerve-wracking, my co-op, and I was so nervous that I had to apologize so many times to the managers and the folks that interview me, and I can relate to that. So I hope this platform will give you guys more confidence, and I hope that, you know, in the next month we'll see more presenter that want to move forward and said, you know, I can present and I feel confident with public speaking. So that is the concept behind open mic. So I hope this is not a formal audience and formal event. So I want you guys to have fun. And I think this is all about you guys, because you are in the spotlight and you have the platform to shine. And the topic of this month is what's your story? And I think most of the presentation and any public performance have a story behind it, either a comedy or either a song. There's always the story behind it. And I think when I said, you know, you raise me up song, remind me of my mom, because there's a story in there that you can look into that story and relate to that and be able to say, yeah, I can feel the same way as well. So next month, I hope there's more presenter. And today there's Jem, she's the manager. She will present the story of my life. Duc, he's moved forward for me, because I said, Duc, can you present, because there's nobody presenting, and can you on the spotlight? And I am so thankful that he's agreed to that. And this is the agenda for today. Well, I'll try to speak for another 3 minutes or so then the presenter will have the chance to present themselves. After that, there will be the presentation, and then we'll have a feedback session. But before the feedback session, Duc also have a little activity for us so we can get the engagement with the audience. And then there are also rules for this event as well. So we keep everything organized and everybody understand what's going on and everybody have the expectation. The first rule would be you must have fun. And, you know, I think the nerve-wracking public speaking is that we are too uptight, so we forget to have fun. And I think fun is the goal of this event. And we respect each other. We give each other feedbacks, but you know, positive feedback. And there's no criticism in this open mic. And that would be our goal, to keep that as a rules of thumb. And be honest and transparency, because I think there's nothing more important than being yourself. And be able to say, yes, I perform at my best, and that was me, and I feel awesome. And the last part will be networking. So I hope after the presentation, we'll have the chance to give feedback, questions and answer. And I hope by networking will get you guys more comfortable to join us in these events. And again, these events for you guys and for you guys to gain your confidence. So, you know, put your step up. And a little bit about the panelists. Myself, my name is Flora. I'm a cybersecurity professional. If my title is mouthful, just think that I work in IT. I have Duc here in the presenter. He will speak a little bit about himself. He's a very confident public speaker. So, you know, Duc, welcome. I have Adam here with us. He's the eye and ear to tell us that, okay, you know, here's, you know, I hope that Adam could give us a lot of feedback in terms of the structures and everything. So that's why Adam is here. And then of course, Pham, he will be the backbone, recording all the sounds and make sure that we sound professional, because I think these moments are for yourself to shine. And I think we should capture these moments so we can look back and say, that's just me. I was on the spotlight. I did it. And, you know, I feel great. So with no further ado, I let Duc, Adam, and Pham introduce yourself. So you can unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself. Start with Duc.
Morning, everyone. It's a gloomy Sunday. I'm Duc. I only know the Hội Nghị Việc for like a month or two, but I'm very excited to join as a co-host and look forward to networking with everyone. So yeah, I'll talk more about myself in my actual presentation. So yeah.
Thank you, Duc. How about you, Adam?
Hey guys, happy Sunday morning. So brief description about me and my history. I started working at record stores, HNV, Sunrise, a million years ago. Worked my way up, became manager, then went to different stores, things like that. And then I started working for CIBC, and I did that for 11 years. I was with them. And after that, I started, got into the restaurant business, owning and operating a restaurant, which was weird because that's, it's not me, that's not my forte, but we made it work. And then, with the pandemic and everything, I've never lost a job so many times in 1 year. And so I don't like the word passion. That's you're probably going to hear that a lot, but I don't like the word passion. I like toys. I like action figures. I like things like that. I like making things. So it started with a 3D printer, and then I got a bigger and better 3D printer. So I decided to go down that route, start making things. There's a lot of demand for, I'm sure many of you know, Mandalorian. There's a lot of demand for Mandalorian stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working for myself again, doing that kind of stuff, and it's fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Adam. Because I know even in movies and action figure, right? There's always a story behind those movies, and that's why we love movies so much, right? Thank you so much, Adam. Pham, how about you put your camera on and let everyone see and introduce yourself a little bit. Hi, there's the man behind the scene.
We can't hear Pham, right?
Yeah, it's technical difficulty. I think this is very common issues when we do remote events.
Come on, Music Man.
So I think at the networking, Pham will have when he fixes his sounds, and we'll be able to connect with them. But I think he's an amazing person that volunteered to record this event for us. And I want to acknowledge that kind of work, because it's very important that we acknowledge a lot of good work that Hội Nghị Việc and even individual like them that take their time and do these things for us and record these events for us, so then everybody can listen to the event as well. And so with that, I will stop sharing my screen, and Jem will be presenting. She would tell us about herself first, and then she'll be present her topic today. So you have the ability to share. I will stop sharing my screen right now. And the floor is yours.
Hey guys, nice to meet you all, and thanks for having me here today. Well, as you have already known, I'm a little bit nervous, so please bear with me if there's any difficulties in between. So I'm going to share my screen right now. So I prepare a little presentation. It's a story of my life, but it's a story of almost every international student life when they first started, I believe. So let's take a look at it. Can you guys see my screen well? Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so technically today I'm going to sum up my life as the only child and yet still get sent abroad to all the way to Canada. So a little bit introduction. I am currently actually an event planner of IE Canada. I graduated from Seneca and I'm a marketing professional. I actually had a little bit of experience in an actual storytelling event where I had to act in front of people in order to get an A for my assignment. So, but it was a long time ago and it's been a while since I talked in front of everyone. So I'm a little bit, shaky at this moment. But yeah, I just want to check in with you guys like that before I start. Like before coming to Canada, did anyone here have to cook and take care of themselves back in Vietnam? So let's ask Flora, like, did you have to cook back in the day?
No, my mom was so worried I can't get married because I can't cook.
Right. What about Duc? What happened to you back then?
I actually started cooking since I was in middle school because
Oh,
it's
wow.
an essential skill. So my parents always push me into the kitchen, and I actually enjoy cooking ever since.
Wow, surprising because I'm exactly like Flora. I didn't have to do anything at all when I was back in Vietnam living with my parents. So yeah, let's get started. Are you guys ready for my story? So before coming here, I didn't even have to clean my dishes. I didn't have to touch anything at all. The reason being is because my parents were in their 40s and 50s when they had me. And therefore, for them, I was very rare in their opinion. That's why they took care of me. They spoiled me to the point that people around them started to be worried that I could not live by myself. My parents are really old, so a lot of people started to question them when they decided to send me abroad, especially when it's really far away. And I didn't even have any relatives or acquaintances when I came to Canada. I even got this question a lot, like how was I going to survive? I didn't even speak English back then. I was not even good at studying. And a lot of people betted that I would give up after like a month or two. Well, guess what? I didn't. So I think it's a point where you should be like right now, I'm very confident about myself. So what I had to do in order to survive, well, in the beginning, I couldn't even talk to anyone in my school because I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to communicate very well and effectively. Um, every papers that I needed to do, because there wasn't a lot of Vietnamese people back then. So everything I had to put myself in the front and went to the personnel that was in charge to ask about every little thing. Luckily, I was brave enough to try. So I was not scared to talk and make mistakes in order to learn from them. So at the moment, I'm very proud that even though I was not an accountant, I am able to fill all my tax by myself in Canada. And for those who didn't know, that's like a huge change in my opinion from 10 years ago. And what has changed in the past 10 years? The old meat, I did not know anything. I had to cook only using rice cooker. For your information actually because I lived in my school's dorm, so they did not allow students to cook even though they have like an actual cooker there. Therefore, I went to the supermarket, got a rice cooker, and I made literally everything in there. I fry egg with my rice cooker. I made beef steak with my rice cooker, believe it or not. Literally everything was from rice cooker. And I had to ask my parents when I were in Vietnam, whenever I wanted to go somewhere, because I couldn't even ride a motorbike. I got zero friend when I came here. I was not able to communicate in English at all. The current me, still not knowing a lot of things, but I know how to cook, and then I can cook different cuisines. Basically, I self-taught everything from learning languages to literally everything else to survive. And in my opinion, I'm pretty fluent at this moment. Like I can communicate effectively. And as long as the other people can understand me well, I think that's what English is meant for. And I think that I'm very confident, if you cannot tell already. So yeah, a little bit tips from me to you guys is that you can do it. Just trust yourself, and self-taught is key. My suggestions is that you should read more, you should watch the news more. If the news is too boring for you, try reading like scandalous news first, where you will get excited reading it, and then start it to transfer from those to more serious news. Research more about everything and anything around you. It could help a lot. And finally, is you have to try it out yourself. So combine all the things that you learn in class, from your friends, from whoever you meet, even a random person on the street. You need to try it out yourself. But disclaimer, do not try something that is unhealthy or criminal. Just try something that will benefit you in the future. And yeah, Walt Disney once said, if you can dream it, you can do it. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for your time, and let's continue with the next presenter, I believe.
Before we go to the next presenter, I just have a little bit of my personal impressions. Amazing. You know, you said 10 years. I'm here 13 years, and I feel like I don't speak as good as you do. Your accents and your pronunciation. And even in family, when I say certain thing, my father-in-law has to correct me. He said, Flora, you don't say, what is the word? I can't even pronounce this certain words. I can't. But, you know, I love your accents. It's like, oh my gosh, listen to Jam. So how did it feel to present?
I was a little bit shaky in the beginning, and then I started to feel myself slowly after like a minute or two. So I became, calmer, and I started to talk like how I would normally do in front of my friends.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I couldn't tell that you were nervous.
Yeah, okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, because if you didn't
you.
even say that you were nervous, I didn't even notice that you were nervous. So I love your presentation, the story that you gave. It's give a lot of the young audience the understanding of self-taught. And I think being in Canada and it teaching us a lot about self-starters, self-discipline, and self-taught like yourself. Amazing like skill, the cooking and the steak, I can totally related to that as well. And personal story, I draw my interaction immediately because your story just like so compelling that I can relate it to, right? So if you're in the audience and you try to present, these are the keys and tips that you can use within your presentation. And it's supposed to be fun. And once you get the hang of it, I think that you will be able to do it as well. So I will stop talking and let Duc continue.
Hi. Jam definitely set a bar for me, which is very high. So I guess I can share my screen. So before I'm going into a presentation, I prepare a Kahoot quiz. For those who don't know what Kahoot is, it's a open platform for let's see if I can show. it's an open platform for quizzes that students and kids in schools now do a lot. So it's like the same how you approach the quiz from Flora. You can go into kahoot.it and you can type this pin in and we can start a little fun quiz before going to the next presentation. Flora, can you let me know when everyone's in, because I'm sharing my screen so I can't see how many participants are there in our presentation. So I know there are like 16 or 17, right?
Sorry, I was on mute. We have 21 right now.
21, okay.
So we have 8 on the screen. So there are about 13, yes.
Mhm. So it's just gonna be an 8-question quiz about general information about Canada, and I think even Adam might get some wrong. So I can't wait to see that. So Flora, how many people did they register and how many just gone through the link you just posted on the Facebook group? Did you know? You're on mute or something like that. I can't hear you.
You're on mute. Unmute.
Yeah, sorry, my microphone.
There you go.
So we have about 20 people registered for the event. Right now we have 21 in the audience, but keep in mind there's some audience that they might be able to take the phone and participate.
That's okay. We'll give 3 more minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know it's a Sunday morning and we all have plans on Sunday, right? While it's not at the same as the pandemic, I'm sure that after a year, people know how to get themselves busy even in pandemic weekends. So yeah. Okay, so has anyone joined in? Did anyone have any problem joining in? Please let us know in the chat. If not, then we can start. Okay.
Okay, I know this.
I hope you do.
I hope, because I passed my Susan test.
Okay. Whew, everyone got very tight scores here.
Okay, I don't even know that.
Excuse me?
I told you, Adam skipped his classes.
And we have some big changes here.
Ooh. Thing. Eh.
Did you get that right? Did you get it right?
No. I'm gonna take my Susan test again. Okay.
Ooh, Whitney.
It's Newfoundland. It doesn't count.
Don't Google it. That's cheating.
right? If you Google which country has the most lakes in the world, it will be Canada. So I'm pretty sure that's right. Mhm.
Well, we know it's not CIBC.
Ooh, that is very interesting.
Hmm. Oops.
Oh gosh.
Okay, to be fair, I wasn't in high school here, okay?
That's not a legit reason. Again, very many different answers.
I thought it's a raccoon.
Raccoon is Toronto's, not Canada. Last one. Wow, finally something we all got right.
I think we can, relate it to the bay.
And the winners are
Ooh.
6 out of 8.
Oh, don't get the trophy.
Now we know who's the real Canadian is. So okay. Thank you everyone for participating. Let's see.
This is very fun. Thank you, Dick.
Yeah, so it's just me Googling for a bit and having some Canada fun facts. And I think those are pretty simple, common. I'm not asking like a history test for all you guys, right? I think all of you anyway. I don't even know. But yeah, I think we can do this every now and then, and it would be a very good platform for friends to join in and have a bit of knowledge quiz. Okay, so I hope everyone has a good break on that. So I will continue to my presentation. Oh.
Mhm.
Wait me a sec. Somehow it doesn't show on my original screen. Wait me a sec. Okay. Can everyone see the big screen of the presentation now? Okay, cool. So before coming in, I didn't actually choose a topic, but Flora's like, hey, dude, because you didn't show me the topic, can I just give you a random question and can you talk on it? I'm like, sure. That's a challenge. Okay, so the story is, how did I end up here? You see there's a little bit of rocket, so I'm ending up here, but I'm still, going further, I hope. So introduction, I just added this slide 5 minutes ago. Well, right before the presentation, because I saw Jem have that introduction. So hi everyone, I'm Duc. I came to Canada since 2016. That's where I finished high school. And throughout 5 years here, I participated in many Vietnamese events for students. That includes events with York University, the Vietnamese Association students there. There's a Vietnamese volunteer community, and here and there. I don't do anything right now because I'm no longer a student, but those were fun times. So I guess some participants in here might recognize me from before. And currently I'm working as a cybersecurity specialist in Canadian Tire. And don't ask me, I don't know what they're selling. Even when I joined in the company, I thought they only sell tires. Turns out they sell lots of stuff, which today I still ask people to check Amazon price first before coming to our store, but please don't tell my manager that. And in the free time, I like cooking, biking, and board games. Those are very fun activities that you can do alone or have friends join with you. And I see them as very beneficial activities during the pandemic time. So I'll begin my story back when I was taking the high school entrance exam. So I think it's a very firm memory from people, and I don't know how that's gonna go in Canada, but in Vietnam, we have very tough and stressful high school entrance exam because in big cities, there's only a handful of good schools and there's so many students graduating every year, right? So my whole high school entrance exam took me like 2 or 3 months because there's so many schools with many different entrance exams. So there's one particular school which is called Amsterdam High School, and they have many specialized classes. So in that school, I registered for a computer science class and for English specialized class. I also took another test in another school, but we'll talk about that later. So on that day in the morning, it was supposed to be computer science entrance exam, and the morning in the afternoon, it's supposed to be the English entrance exam. And that's me back in high school. And that's my dad. Just a figure, he doesn't look like that. The story has started when in the morning, my dad asked me if I want to skip the computer science entrance exam because it's not my main goal and I don't like math. I'm bad at math. And he asked me casually if I want to skip, which I found a bit surprising because he's always that tiger agent parent that always push you harder and want you to succeed in life, right? And to his answer, I said no. Well, not in that language, but you know, Vietnamese people will know what that word is. So I said, no, Dad, we register for that. It would be a waste if we don't take the test. And since it's not my main goal, I shouldn't be too stressful about it, right? And it should not intervene with my English exam in the afternoon. So I took the test, both tests, and not surprisingly, in that year, I failed the English class, but my grades were enough for the computer science class. And I also passed another school, which is called the Foreign Language Specialized School, which is a school I love to go there because I love languages. I'm the guy that likes social studies, literature, English, history, geography, and I don't like STEM stuff. So now I have two options, whether to go to the English Japanese class in the foreign language school or the computer science class in Amsterdam High School. And this is where we do the analysis of our decisions, right? I mean, when I'm choosing the specialized school, which is the school I love more, it's near my house. I have more friends in it. I'm more qualified for that school, as in my grades were higher, and it's a comfort zone for me because I'm used to learning languages and all that stuff. While for the computer science class is 7 kilometers away from my house, I have to bike every day if I need to go there. It's very hard to keep up because I'm not a math or science guy. I don't have that brain. And I almost failed it if the school hadn't dropped the bar for the entrance grade, I would have failed it. So it's a pretty obvious option here, right? And, you know, if I'm going to the computer science class, I would be very confused. So what do I do there and how would I thrive there? So I thought it all sorted out. And in the morning of the deadline, I asked my dad to go to the foreign language school and submit my application. And I thought it went fine until he came home. He told me, so when he was at the register, he saw so many kids couldn't make it to other schools, and this is the only option. So he decided to withdraw my application without my knowing. He just went home with my application in his hand. And he told me, can you come here instead? It's such a light question. And I was taken by surprise as well. This is a crucial decision for any Vietnamese kids to choose which high school they want to go, and especially if they're prestigious schools, it will set up a lot to their future careers, right? But to my knowledge as well, I said very calmly, I said, yeah, sure, why not? So for those who's in IT, that's an affirmative command. So here I am in the computer science class with a bunch of nerd kids who are so into math, science, robots, coding, and there's me. So throughout 3 years, my grades in math, chemistry, physics are very, very low. It's like the bottom of the class, I'm not gonna lie. And even the teacher said that they don't know why I'm here. I should transfer to some class that are more into social studies. But meanwhile, my grades in literature and English were like the highest in the class, even better than some girls. It's a very stereotype thingy, but I think it's well known that girls tend to do better in social studies and those kind of classes. So it got me very confused throughout 3 years. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know if I fit in. I don't know that I could keep up, and what would I come out of it. Computer science wise, I'm okay, but I don't made it to the average of the class. But that's a fun thing, because when everyone is the same, when everyone is so good at math, chemistry, and physics, I'm like a black sheep. I was good at things that they are not good at. So I provided my value in different ways that I couldn't even imagine. And because of my tendency to go towards the more social classes and friends, I made some good self-development. First of all, it's my own logical thinking, because I study with a bunch of kids that are good at STEM, right? So I developed my own logical thinking, structured mindset that I was very lack at. And I trained myself to be very perseverant. Is that a word? Perseverant of what I do, because it's very hard for me to study and do math, physics, chemistry as other people. So I needed to take extra hard work in there. And secondly, it's the friends that I befriend with throughout the years. They have very different personalities than I do, because I'm more of the talkative, communicative, social guy, and they're more, introverted, talk less, do more kind of people. So it helped me tremendously to learn how to talk to them and learn how to see in their perspective. And because I got that rational, logical thinking improvement, I apply that to the extracurricular activities that I do with other friends in other classes. Because my tendency is to get along better with friends in history or geography or English literature classes, right? I bring that different flavor to all the events that I help organize. So it's a huge win-win for me, actually. And finally, it's lots of self-reflection, self-understanding of what I've been doing throughout the 3 high school years. Because as I mentioned, it's 3 years of confusion, of self-doubt, of not knowing if I'm in the right place, if I ended here correctly. And that gives me more motivations, more pathways in the future, because I realize you don't have to be super techie or super smart or mathematical intellectual to be in those fields, right? You can be someone who is worse than the average at that, but have different skill sets. It will help you, having more opportunities. So after 3 years of high school, so it's the same path like Jen mentioned. I think it's the same for everyone. I chose Canada as my destination. I went to Humber College. I chose computer engineering. I made connections. I do some part-time jobs to help me survive by. I trained myself harder and harder to achieve the goals. I graduated and now working full-time. So I think these are all the stages that we all went through one way or another. May not be the same timeline, because I know people switch their programs or education many times, but this is on the surface. I think we all know that under each phases, there are many decisions to be made. I think many will resonate with me here. For example, I could have chosen the US or I stayed back in Vietnam. I could have told my parents that, hey, I'm worthy of a more prestigious university. Please spend all my money on me. And I know I would qualify for example, U of T for sure. And my passion doesn't lie in computer science. It's very clear. It's all clear out to my friends and families because my real passion lies in psychology or sociology. But I'll talk about that later. But passion is overrated. Like Adam, I don't really like the word passion. And communities, networking. It's also a question for me when I first came here. Should I hang out more with Canadian friends or should I stay with my roots and be friends with Vietnamese community? And part-time jobs, should I be a Tim Hortons cashier? Should I do nails and work in Vietnamese restaurants, or should I work as a tutor? And when and every time I try my best to thrive here, there are many downtimes. Should I go back to Vietnam? Should I give up? It's also hard. And after graduation, what's next? Where should I go? What should I do? Am I eligible to work in Canada? Right? So when we take a deeper look in all those decisions, I think everyone's life is as complex because we all have our thinking process, our self-doubt moments, our analysis of what's good and what's bad. So yeah, so all of that is where I'm ending up now. It's actually the question mark that I'm ending at. I don't want to be definitive as I don't want to be sure that where I know where I'm going. That would be a very fixed mindset, and that would leave me out for bigger opportunities, right? Like how my story back in high school. If I was mad at my dad for not going through me with that decision, and if I wanted to fight my dad and go into the foreign language school, things might still end up better. Things might still end up as in I might still go to Canada and I'll go through all that phases, but I would never have the chance to develop myself in other ways I couldn't imagine. So to end up, this is a concept that I would like to introduce. I'm sure many people saw this before. It's called Ikigai. It's a framework on how to navigate in life. So there's the 4 bigger circles. There's what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you're good at. So which decisions or which pathways you're at, I think you can always see yourself in one of those circles, and it would be better if you can be in the interlap sections of those, right? So I do lots of self-reflection. It's one of my daily activities. So sometimes I would go back to this diagram and I would see that where am I now? Where do I to end up? And how to get there? So it's a very idealistic diagram. And to me, it's okay if you can't answer all the questions, right? Or any of the questions, it's very fine. I know that I don't have much life experience as others, but I know that it's okay for you to be confused and not be able to answer all these questions at the moment. And I think that's fine. That's a part of life. It's a very good journey and it's very exciting to not know what's ahead. So that's it for my presentation on how do I end up here. Thank you.
Thank you, Duc. I know I get you to speed up things, but you did great. And I send you a message on chat saying, can you wrap up in 3 minutes? And I know that you have more to say as well and to share with us, because we just be conscious with time and everyone else, because I want everyone to have a chance to share the videos and connect with us. So Duc, tell us, how did it feel?
It was nervous at first. And you see that I stutter a lot and I use wrong words and wrong grammar all the time. But I think overall people get my ideas, right? That's what matters.
Exactly, right? Again, just like Jem, I couldn't tell you were nervous, but I think you can use a little bit of water.
Right.
And so just like Jem's story, I think there's a lot of story out there that we never told to the audience, that I feel the same way like you do. I'm nervous when I'm presenting something. I have a personal story that I want to tell you. I want to tell you, like Jem, I self-taught myself English. I self-taught myself cooking, and you can do it too. Like Duc, I liked your ikigai because I started to read about that, and the Japanese mindset about well-being and life, and what is the purpose in life, and those kind of things. I can resonate to your story, and you give a lot of excellent tips to the folks out there that in your generation, because to me, I'm not a millennial, I'm a older millennial, so I don't have that kind of mindset. And I love you guys, your guys' energy and thinking, because the kind of thinking that help us move forward in the future and help the younger Vietnamese generation feel more confident, speak what's in your mind, and don't be afraid. So hopefully this Open Mic Sunday, the first one that impress you and get you to like, I can do the speaking like Gems and Duc as well, and everybody have a personal story to tell. And you guys, be more confident, get your words out there. So what are you waiting for? Next month, we'll have a new topic, and I will post the registrations on the group in Facebook, and hopefully you guys will register and get more audience in this kind of event. So now I will, get the floor to everyone. We can share, you guys can, share the videos and open my, now the floor is open for questions and answer. And before question and answer, let's hear what Adam had to say about the presentations. From an angle of a Canadian, that failed through test.
The three of you guys, do you think, when I say success story, do you guys think, you are a success story?
Jim, go ahead.
Well, it was a success story today that I was able to talk in front of so many people that I didn't even know, I guess.
So, okay, so not even today, but the answer is yes, all three of you.
Yeah.
From coming over here, literally
sure.
starting over and building, what you do. And that's fantastic. It takes a brave man, a brave woman to come over here, a country you're not familiar with, and do that and succeed. That's fantastic.
Thank
so
you.
Yeah, it's great.
I know. I think personally, I just shared a post recently on the Facebook chat, and I hope that everyone will feel the same, that we're not alone in this country. We have a very good community. And thank you. I see Nguyen here. He's the founder of the group, and I would like to thank Nguyen for this great opportunity. And I don't know how many times I would thank him for that again. I see Nang here. I also see Tim earlier, but I think he dropped off. But I think the purpose of this open mic is hopefully you guys get your story out there and be more confident. And you see me talking, but I'm telling you as a host, I'm even nerve-wracking than you guys are, because I have to control the flow, make sure everybody's on time, and be able to get your engagement, right? And you can see Gem have a very compelling story about how she survived in Canada. And Duc also share a lot of self-reflections and these tips and tricks that we can also, you guys as an audience, use to improve yourself and see where you're at maybe 5-10 years from now, right? Goals and objective, and see where your guy at and aim single-mindedly to that goal, right? So the audience, you want to start sharing your video and let us know what you think about the event. Any feedback
or any discussions overall? Like, how do you find the Canadian quiz? Was it mind-blowing to you that raccoon is not the country's mascot or something? Stuff like that.
Well, it was fun. It was fun.
It was fun.
Okay, I go first.
Okay.
Sorry, I cannot share my video because I'm not really ready for it. I hope you can understand.
Sure.
Okay, so anybody have questions, comment, feedback? We love feedback for the future improvement.
Okay, the only thing I will say, Gem, your presentation was great. You're in your slides. The word "got," I hate that word. When in your slides it says "got 0 friends," I've always been told, I don't remember where I heard it from at a very young age, like "got" isn't a real word.
Yeah, it's not, but
Yeah.
it's
Have zero
something that
friends.
I adapted when talking to what you call native speaker, when they're
Yeah.
like, I got, you know, something, even though it's not like a real word, but I still use it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like we all use it, but when you see it, I guess in print, it's just kind of like it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Mhm.
But you know that's just me. So
Yeah, totally agree.
you know,
No,
but,
totally agree.
yeah, yeah.
He's a nitpicker.
A little bit.
I didn't even notice.
I'm that guy. I have to
I
be
thought
that
it was
guy.
amazing.
Of course, it was absolutely amazing. Great, you know, fantastic.
Yeah. So the audience, you have any questions? Don't be shy.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, sorry. Sorry, I cannot share my video because I'm not really ready for it. I hope you understand because, yeah, anyways, I just want to say thank you for this event. It's really helpful, and like everyone has a story to tell, and I hope like one day I can be confident enough to tell my story, and I hope it's gonna be a good story to tell in the future. But thank you for the presentation, Duc and Jam. You guys are great. And Flora also, thank you for hosting this event, and thank you, Adam, for like being with us.
Absolutely. So I think nobody's ready, and I think even myself, I remember when first time I did a presentation at school, and I did horribly, and I have to retake the class again because I'm literally shaking. And now you see me sitting here talking to you, but I'm still nervous. So I don't think anybody ever ready for anything in life. And my mindset, it's just like my Duc mindset. You don't know what's in the box of chocolate. You just stick your hands in there and get the chocolate piece out and enjoyed it. So it's just like presentation, just do it and enjoy the journey. And don't worry too much about, you know, did I sound perfect? I don't like my voice neither when I listen to the audio again, but that's just human nature, right? So get out of your comfort zones and try the feelings. And when you try that and you're like, that's not so bad. I didn't die after that presentation. I'm still alive and sitting here, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anh or Anh, when was the last time you had a presentation?
I think it was in the college. Well, I used to be, when I was in Vietnam, I used to be a teacher. But I was the like kindergarten teacher. So in front of the kids, like I was with 25, 30 kids. It was okay for me because I feel confident in front of them. I don't know why. But of course, like the last time it was in college, and every time it was like, I know the feeling now when I'm speaking to you guys, I'm also nervous, not just presentation.
But
yeah, but
sorry, do you get the relieved feeling after every time you do that?
Yes, I it's really like I agree, like the relief, and also it feels good when you share your story, and it feels good when you step up and do something like that. Even like for now, everyone's not talking, and only me who step up and talk and give my comments to the host and everyone. So I think it's one step for me to go forward.
Right.
And also, yeah. Yes,
but why would you be nervous though? What's there to be nervous about? I guess that's the thing. What would you be nervous about?
I think she's afraid that you're gonna bite her.
I'm gonna bite her?
Well,
I didn't know I had a reputation for biting
human
people.
nature, right? Because you think that this is danger. This is dangerous. I'm not gonna talk.
No, but really, I mean, you know, if you're talking about, it's like going, you know, for a job interview. You're essentially selling yourself. You want to make the best impression of you that you can do.
Exactly.
You know, so why would you be nervous about that?
Sometimes it's just like you don't, you know, like when you talk to someone new, maybe I think it's just the thinking when someone will judge you or like criticize or something like that. It's just the first feeling, but once we started it, it's get better and better. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're worried about somebody judging you or thinking something of you when you've never met them, why
Yeah,
would that matter to you?
well, that's why I try not to think about it when take the first step. It's just the first thought in your mind. It came up, and of course, sometimes it's also my English is not good, you know.
Right.
It's not my first language, and it's not good grammar, or it's not good pronunciation, something like that. It's just like giving the nervous feeling to ourselves.
I guess,
can
but I mean,
relate to
you
that
sound
too,
fine
Adam.
from what I've heard, you know.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
but I can relate to that, right? Because I think Duc and Jem would feel the same way, like myself, because we're not from here, and that insecurity always inside us and tell us, oh, if I say something, how that sounds to the
Yeah.
Canadians.
Have you met other Canadians?
Actually, I also want to learn something about Adam, because I'm thinking about the restaurant, like opening a restaurant, and I hope that I can talk to you about something like that. It's not the topic today, but I hope I can learn some experience from you. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll do it the next topic. Adam will talk about his experience in opening a restaurant. How about that?
Yeah, that's great.
Put it in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, we can do that. Absolutely.
But no, to end points and other audience that listening that not yes, I will get to you, Tien. So I think in the audience, if you listen to us, I think that's why we created this open mic platform in the first place, because I want you to don't feel pressures on presenting, because we here to listen to your story and tell you that you did great and you can do better, and we can, you know, this is the platform where I want everyone to put your stuff forward and feel comfortable being who you are and the way you speak. But then nothing wrong with that. Like, we cannot expect ourselves to be perfect, you know, at the first try, because from my perspective, I think everything is trying and error, and unless you try and then you fail and you try again and then you do better the next try, and I think that's the goal. And if you keep trying to be perfect, you would never be perfect. And I found that for myself at, you know, my middle age right now, because that's what I try so hard in my 20s, be perfect and, you know, say the right things and wear the right clothes and have, you know, nice hair. But that is just how we present ourselves to the other people. We're not being ourselves. So be more confident, guys, just like I am trying to find my confidence today, sitting here and talking. So I hope that you guys feel the same way as well when you go onto this platform and tell us what you have to say. And Tien, okay, your turn. Sorry.
Yeah, I have a question about the ikigai is for Duke. Yeah, I have a question about the ikigai circle. So
Yeah.
can you tell me more about that? Like, what's at the middle?
So if you Google it, you see those graph, right?
Yeah.
If you succeed to achieve the middle part, it's the absolute self-fulfilling, absolutely self-fulfilling moment in life, right? You know what you're doing, you know that you like what you do, you know that you are getting paid for it, and you know that the world needs more of it. So it's all four circles coming in together.
Yeah. So I mean, like, sometimes I just run around these there's a four circle, right? So there are four interaction. So like a lot of time I just run around these interactions. So I never get into the middle.
I can tell you,
yeah.
I don't think anyone reaches that stage. It's very theoretical and very idealistic. Right?
Okay.
It's just
yeah.
Oh, you might want to get there, but you don't get there, it's fine. And we grow as people, right? We evolve. What you love and what you're good at today, it's not the same as 5 years ago. It will not be the same as 10 years from now. So how can you know where you at, right? Because your circles change as well.
Yeah.
10 years ago, the world needs more financial banking people, and today it needs more IT people, kind of like that. So hard.
I see your point. I see your point. Yeah.
No worries.
I think
Okay.
things change, right? And if you see a script, do you want that script for your life going by someone else's script, or you want to create your own script?
Oh,
Does that
definitely
make
my
sense?
own script. Yes.
Right. So
But you
exactly,
see-
those are framework for you to look at it as, okay, this is where I'm at and this is where I want to be. But do I want to be myself, or do I want to be someone else? Right, Adam?
Yeah, but you see, if I had met me now when I was a teenager, and if I'm telling my teenage self all the things that I've done in my life to that point, I've been like, seriously? Really? No, because every day is a different thing, it changes so much where you can't, I mean, like, it's all nice to have a plan and all, but not everything's going to go to that, work that way, it's just, I can't speak. It's just not going to go that way,
Yeah.
It's life is not what it's great to have it on paper, but it will not go that way,
Yes. Yes.
Does that answer your question, Tien?
Yes. Yes.
I hope
yes.
it's helpful.
Yeah. It's very
and
helpful. Yeah.
and to me, what I'm getting for that right now is how you want to pave your pathway, right? We all say that, oh, follow your passion, follow your desired things, and I say that's bullshit. Because
is, absolutely.
it's not enough. People don't pay you just because you're good at something. It's what their needs as well, right? So I think that's a wake-up call for many people right now. They live in such an idealistic world that, oh, if I just do what I love every day, I'll be successful, I'll be happy. But guess what? It's not that simple. Or I'm just being very pessimistic, but I don't think so.
No, you ask, let's say 10 people if they like their job, if they like what they do.
80%.
I guarantee you 9 of them will say, no, I hate what I do.
80%.
It's just a paycheck.
So so here's the stats for you. 80% of North American people are hating their job. So are you the 20% of those people, or are you the 80% of those
See,
people?
yeah, Van says, yeah, I don't like my job.
So somebody out there would have the same feeling as you do, Tien. Okay, it's 11:14. We ran out of time. I only planned for an hour. I hope this session just is useful for you guys, and I hope to do it again next month. So I will post the registrations for a speaker, and so I would try to organize the event better so you have the reminder on your calendar, and hope I get you guys to tell me what your story is. And enjoy your Sunday, guys. Thank you, Jem. Thank you, Duc. Appreciate it.